I hope you all are doing well. In this video, we will understand what a tissue means and how it is going to be different with respect to plants and animals. So we'll start in this session with respect to the plants. Before that, we'll understand what a tissue is. So tissue is a group of cells. They are having similar origin, they have almost similar structure and almost similar function. So what do you call the study of tissues? So study of tissues is known as histology. So understand that a group of cells when they are together, or mass of cells when they are together, and they have almost a similar origin and structure and function, they are known as tissues. So these tissues are based on unicellular organism, the cells with respect to unicellular organism or single celled organism or multicellular organisms. They have different functions. So like unicellular organisms, you can see in this picture, like amoeba and paramecium, they have almost similar or basic functions. Why? Because they do not have separate organs or like differentiated organs as we can see in multicellular organisms. So what we see in multicellular organisms like in plants, human body, insects or like other animals, we can see that the cells undergoes cell division, and this with respect to division of cells we can see that there are different organs that is produced or formed in plants and animals. They are separated with respect to plants as plant tissues and animals as animal tissues. So let's start with plant tissues. So you can see that section of leaf, these all are tissues or layer of tissues, wherein you can see that lower epidermis, it's known as dermal tissue, mesophil, it's ground tissue in between, and upper epidermis, it's known as again dermal tissue. So which is complex tissues are like xylem and phloem. They are also known as vascular tissues. So let's understand when we take a stem and we cut it across, it's a cambium. This is a cambium part, and you can see different types of tissues here in the stem, that is epidermis, pith or the ground tissue, xylem and phloem or scleron, chyma, they are all vascular tissues. So when we take the cross section of root, we can see certain tissues here. They are again xylem and phloem. There is importance for the xylem and phloem. You have the epidermis or dermal tissue and ground tissue. Here it is known as cortex, when the tissue, ground tissue in root is known as cortex, while in stem it is known as pith. So there are two different types of plant tissues. They are, first is the meristems, or they are known as meristematic tissues, and permanent tissues. First we'll start with meristematic tissues. So here in this diagram you can see that the apical, that is tip of the root, there are certain tissues, they are known as root apical meristem. And here you can see that adventitious meristem, that is, it's the root tip is known as apical meristem. As the root advances towards the stem, the formation of stem, there's our adventitious meristem, and you can see that upward formation or the growth of the stem, that forms the lateral meristem, and you can see the formation of buds, shoots, etc. You can see that it is axial meristem, and shoot, that is tip of the stem, it is known as apical shoot apical meristem. So let's understand what are meristems. So they are the tissues which have the power of cell division. They can undergo certain division of cells, form more cells, and you can see this in certain regions of the plant where the plant grows. So wherever there is a cell division, there happens for the plants to grow. So you can see here root apical meristem. Here there are cells that absorbs the moisture, minerals, etc., and it helps. Here you can see the lateral meristem, which will help in the absorption of the food and water and certain minerals, and you can see that shoot apical meristem. Here root apical meristem will help the roots to grow. Here it helps the elongation of the shoots, and also here apical meristem, that is shoot apical meristem, will help in the formation of buds, fruits, flowers, etc. So here also you can see that's differentiation. This is the lateral meristem. In between is the intercalary meristem, and at the tip it is the apical meristem. So let's understand those three different types of meristems. So what are apical meristems? So you can see here apical meristems. It is present in the root and also in the shoot. So it is present at these meristems or the growth tissues are present at the tip of the stem and also tip of the roots, which helps in increasing the length of the plant. So let's understand now the second type of meristem. It is the lateral meristem. You can see here when shoot, that is the stem, is cut open, and you can see that present inside, this is the cambium, you can see that the stem of root, that is cambium, and increases the girth. Girth is the width of the plant. Next comes the intercalary meristem. So you can see that intercalary meristem are present at internodes. Here internodes, where there are, from the internodes you can see certain shoots, sprouting up, and new leaves are formed, and also increases the length of the shoot with respect to the nodes. So we will see the second type of tissues, that is permanent tissues. In permanent tissues, again they are of two types. They are simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. So let's understand simple tissues and complex tissues. So simple tissues is with respect to parenchyma and chlorenchyma, with respect to the chlorophylls and air sacs, etc. But complex tissues like companion cells, food storage cells, they do complex functions such as transportation of water and food across the plant. So let's understand it. First, we'll know about simple permanent tissues. So under simple permanent tissues, there are different types of tissues and having different based on the functions. You can see that parenchyma, these are the tissues, they provide support to the plants, and also they are loosely packed and have large intercellular spaces. You can see here there is a lot of spaces in between. They are known as intercellular spaces, as a prominent nucleus, vacuole, cytoplasm, cell wall. So you can see that parenchyma with chlorophyll. When a parenchyma tissue, it has a chlorophyll and is able to perform the process of photosynthesis, is known as chlorenchyma. The tissue that has chlorophyll, that is parenchyma, it is coming under simple permanent tissues. If this simple permanent tissue, that is parenchyma, has chlorophyll, then it is responsible for the food production in plants, that is photosynthesis, and they are called as chlorenchyma. And you can see that this type of tissue, that is parenchyma with large spaces. So if chlorenchyma with large spaces, you can see lot of spaces here, it's filled with air and it gives buoyancy, that is with large number of air space, you can see that there will be easy movement of food and the nutrients and water. So this part of the parenchyma or the simple permanent tissue is known as aerenchyma. So another function of parenchyma is that it also stores food and water. So you can see that permanent tissues are segregated into two types, simple permanent and complex tissues. So under simple permanent, the major tissue is the parenchyma. These parenchymas helps in supporting the plants, and they are loosely packed and also have intercellular spaces. If the parenchyma or such cells, they are able to synthesize the food for plants, then they are known as chlorenchyma. So green pigments, these have green pigments in it, they are known as chlorenchyma. If the parenchyma cells have large air spaces, they are known as aerenchyma, and parenchyma also helps in the storage of water and food. So next, simple permanent tissue after the parenchyma is the collenchyma. You can see here parenchyma we have already discussed. Let's understand what is collenchyma. So chlorenchyma is different and collenchyma is different, don't get confused. So chlorenchyma is with respect to the photosynthesis. Collenchyma, what does this do? This type of tissue provides mechanical support, and also you can see that the cell wall will be thick. You can see in large trees that cell walls, that walls of the tree will be thick and have very less intercellular space. So you can see that it allows easy bending of various parts of the plants without breaking. So next simple permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. So what does this do? So you can see here the parts of sclerenchyma as it consists of lumen, cell walls with lignin. So this makes plant hard and stiff, thickened due to lignin, and you can see that in certain plants, you can see that gummy trees and all, you can see that intercellular spaces will be very less, and you can see hard bark outside. Cells of this tissue are dead, means these tissues are dead tissues outer, and you can see live tissues inside. The cells which are dead and commonly seen in husk of the coconut. It protects the inner coconut. This husk of the coconut protects the inner fruit. So next comes the guard cells and the epidermal tissue. So what does this guard cells do? So these guard cells will help in the protection of the cells, and also they help in exchange of gases. What are those gases? You already know. It's the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen. So guard cells, you can see here, it is almost kidney shaped in dicots, dumbbell shaped in monocots. So it is going to guard or protect the stomata. So the epidermal tissues of roots, what does they do? The epidermal cells in the roots, they help in absorption of water and minerals. So as you know that roots absorb water and minerals. So these cells, epidermal tissues in the roots, will help in the absorption of water and minerals. So what happens with respect to epidermal tissues in deserts? So you can see certain cactus, they have a thicky wax coating outside layer which represents the leaf. So actually it consists of cutin with waterproof quality. So you can see that epidermal tissues that form in several layers, that is thick cork or the bark of the tree. So epidermal tissues mostly helps in protecting the plant and its cells from adverse conditions. So next comes in the types of tissues, the complex permanent tissues. So we can see that they are made up of one type of cells. These cells helps to perform a common function, that is either transportation of water or the transportation of food from roots to the shoots or shoots back to the roots. So these tissues are known as xylem and phloem. So let's understand about xylem. So what are the parts with respect to the xylem? They consist of tracheids, vessel, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. So these cells have thick walls. So you can see that they have thick cell wall. What does they do? They help in transportation of water and minerals across the plant. So next we can see the phloem. So it consists of the sieve plate, sieve tube, phloem parenchyma and companion cell. So what does it consist of? We have already seen. So let's understand the function of phloem. Phloem transports food material to other parts of the plant. So once the food is prepared by the process of photosynthesis, it gets transported to different parts of the plant, and you can see that it gets stored in particular places. And what is the function of xylem? It conducts water and other minerals across the plant. So that completes this video with respect to the plant tissues and the types of tissues with respect to permanent and complex tissues, simple permanent and complex tissues. So simple permanent tissues consist of parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So complex tissues you can understand with respect to xylem and phloem. So that completes plant tissues. In the next session we will understand about animal tissues. So thank you all for watching.